is Andres Blanco. I'm part of the Liley program, and this is the online virtual community, language community, and this activity is part of the Grammar Lectures. We are going to discuss some grammar topics in the following 8 weeks. You're going to receive an email for an invitation, or maybe there will be a post in the news forum to invite you to the CIPAS. But you can always click on Find CIPAS and get to know what is being offered for you. Today's topic is causative verbs. And first, I'm going to show you a little video. This is our representative of the EDU school. His name is Edu. So let me know if you can hear it. If there's a problem, use the chat. Oh, no, you don't have chat options. Okay, if there's a problem, put a reaction. But I think you will be able to hear it.
Hey there, everyone. I'm Edu. Welcome. Today, we're diving into the exciting world of causative verbs. Sounds fancy, right? But don't worry, I'll make it super easy and fun. Maybe even funnier than my last talk, which isn't hard. So, let's go. So, what are causative verbs? Well, causative verbs show that someone makes someone else do something. Instead of doing it yourself, you cause someone to do it. That's why they're called causative verbs.
So a causative verb or a causative structure is when you make someone do something for you. Okay? So I'm going to comment on some causative verbs like have, get, and a little bit of make, and their use as causative verbs. Each verb serves a unique function, and when you use them, they convey different shades of meaning. So the structure is very easy, but I'm going to give you examples on how to use them correctly in a communicative situation with real-world applications. Causative verbs or causative structures in English are grammatical constructions that allow one to express the idea of causing someone or something to do an action or to have something done. In simpler terms, these structures indicate that one subject is causing another subject to perform an action. Common verbs used in causative structures include make, have, let, and get. Here are some examples. Let me make it bigger for you. Make. She made him cry. Have. I had my car washed. Let. He let her go. Get. I got my brother to help me. Understanding causative structures is crucial for several reasons. Number one, enhanced communication. Causative structures allow learners to express complex ideas more clearly. This is particularly important in discussions where relationship between actions and their agents need to be highlighted. Do you know what is an agent in a sentence? An agent is someone doing the action, is a subject. And a patient is someone receiving an action. So someone doing something is an agent. Expressing influence. These structures help in conveying the influence one person might have over another. For instance, saying he had her sing implies that he encouraged or arranged for her to sing. Variety in language use. Mastering causative forms adds variety to speech and writing. This can make communication more engaging and dynamic. And with causative verbs, there are some cultural nuances. Understanding how causative structures are used in English can also provide insights into cultural nuances. Different cultures may emphasize various aspects of causation, which can be reflected in language use. This is more of the same. Now, what are causative verbs? Have you ever heard of cause and effect connectors? A cause, in this context, is to make something happen. So a causative verb is a verb that indicates that one person causes another person to do something. But there are several ways in you can influence that person to do your bidding. So they are often used to show that someone is responsible for an action, even if they did not perform it themselves. The most common causative verbs in English are have, make, let, get, and help. We're going to see some of them in detail. So the first one is have. What does have mean as a verb? What does have mean in Spanish?
Haber,
That's the auxiliary verb. The auxiliary verb, haber, but as a
a
verb,
tener, tener.
tener. Tener as a verb, haber as an auxiliary verb. So it's very important to use have as an auxiliary verb. The form have is commonly used when you want to express that you arrange for someone else to do something. So arrange for someone else to do something. And this is the structure. There will be a subject in your sentence. A conjugation of the verb have could be present, past, future. Then the object and the past participle. I had my car repaired. I had my car repaired. Who is the subject?
I.
I. The one performing the action is the first person, I. I'm arranging that someone else is going to repair my car. I had my car repaired. Who repaired the car? Someone that knows mechanics, right? But I didn't fix it myself. So I had, the object is my car, and I use the past participle of the verb. But this is not a past perfect because of the structure. There's an object in the middle of the structure. So what are we doing here? We are using have as a causative verb. I arrange that someone repair my car, right? Subject, have, object, plus base form of the verb. The teacher will have the students study on the exam, including astronomy. Who is the subject?
The
The
teacher.
teacher.
The teacher. Who
The
is the
student.
object?
Exam.
El examen.
No.
The
The
student.
teacher is going to arrange that someone else do
Student.
something. Who is going to do the action? Who is the
Students.
student?
Students.
So the teacher is going to convince the students to do something. And what is that something? A study on the exam, including astronomy. So when I'm going to use have as a causative verb, I'm trying to convince someone, right? So the teacher will have the students study. So I'm going to try that my students study for the exam. The base form of the verb is study. So you can use have with the past participle or the base form of the verb, but it's most commonly used with the past participle because you can relate the use of have with the perfect tenses. You're just changing the order. Now, I'm going to give you more examples of have in a few moments, but I'm going to talk to you about get so you can see the difference. So here, look, past participle or base form. Get, the verb get is also a causative verb, but implies that you need to persuade or convince someone to do something.
Tutor, ¿se le fue el internet?
Hey partners, you can see my face?
Pensé que era yo.
Yo también.
Hola compañeros, ¿será que ustedes ahí me pueden ver? No, no me aparece la cámara. O no sé si está activada y
¿Es Juan?
Juan Parias.
No,
No,
te
no
ve.
te ves. No te ves.
Ah, gracias.
Hello?
Hello, tutor.
I don't know what happened, but I got disconnected momentarily. What was I saying? I was asking, what's the difference between this structure and the first one? I'm going to stop my camera. Maybe it's the streaming.
Tutor, sí se ve su merced, pero por lo menos a mí me sale muy demasiado pixelado su pantalla, su imagen, lo que está compartiendo.
Yeah, maybe
igual,
the
a mí
streaming. So I
también.
stopped the camera. I stopped the camera so we can concentrate on the presentation. Hopefully the connection will hold. So once again, the question is, What's the difference between this structure, subject, get, object, to, base form, and the first structure? The difference is
Teacher, we
this.
don't see anything.
You don't see the presentation?
No.
No, the presentation still looks
But
bad.
I'm sharing. How about now?
Yes. No.
Right now.
People on
Is-
cell phones need to change the screen.
It's damaged.
But if you're in a computer, you should be able to see it.
The computer no.
You're not seeing the presentation?
I don't see anything on the computer.
what about that?
Yes.
It's okay now.
This moment, yes.
Yes.
Have, the structure is subject, have, object, past participle, and get is subject, get, object, to, base form of the verb. So what's the difference?
The form base and the past participle.
This preposition, who, this particle, to, is not used with have. So you can have this structure with the past participle or with the base form without the to particle. Again, for those who just connected, have is to arrange for someone else to do something, maybe with a contract, with payment, but get is to persuade or convince someone to do something. Now, make. The verb make is used when someone forces or compels another person to do something. The structure is the same as the first one we have. Subject, make, object, plus base form of the verb. The teacher made the students complete the assignment. Listen to these two sentences. The teacher had the students complete the assignment. The teacher made the students complete the assignment. What's the difference?
The verb have and make.
Yeah, I'm using have. Yeah, I'm using make, but in the meaning, in the intention, what would be the difference between had and made? The teacher had the students complete the assignment. The teacher made the students complete the assignment. In the first one, there's an agreement, a contract, there's an arrangement. But with the second one, with made, I'm forcing you. I'm using my authority as a teacher to make you do the assignment. It would be mandatory, okay? So if I'm using made, is more complicated in terms of the meaning, because you are showing your authority and that you are able to force someone to do something. So the teacher here made the students complete the assignment. It's because the teacher has authority over the students. But the structure is the same. That's what I'm getting at. The structure is the same, but the intention is different. Have is an arrangement here, arrangement, because we have rules of conduct for the course, we have a syllabus, we have an agreement. But here with make, I'm forcing the students. If you don't do this assignment, I'm going to give you a 0 for the whole semester. So I'm forcing you. The teacher made the students complete the assignment. So the intention is different. Have indicates arranging for someone else to do something. Get implies persuading someone to do something. And make suggests forcing someone to do something. These are key differences among these verbs. Have is the most common. Get is have is common and formal, and get is informal. And make can make, you can have problems with make because you are forcing someone or compelling someone to action. My mom made me do it. My mom made me do it. Right? My mom has a chancleta and she made me do it. That's forcing someone to do something. I'm not going to talk about help. So let's see more examples with make, have, and get. And the first one will be make. Because make is a very versatile verb in English. You can have lots of phrasal verbs with make, but here we're going to use it as a causative verb. So when I'm using make as a causative verb, I use it to express someone forcing another person. Once again, this is the structure. It's very simple. Subject, make, object, plus base form of the verb. She made her brother clean his room. Who is the subject?
Her brother?
No.
She?
The
She.
subject,
She?
she, a woman. And the object, a grammatical
Your
object,
brother.
her brother.
Her brother.
I'm using
Her brother.
made because it's the past tense. The action already has, it's a completed action. And what I want from the brother is a clean room. So she made her brother to clean his room. The action of cleaning is a result of her brother being compelled or forced to do so. More examples. The teacher made the students write an essay. The teacher made the students write an essay.
The students.
The teacher is the subject. The students is the object. And what is the base form verb? The base form of the verb is write. You won't see conjugations here. You won't see written or wrote. You cannot conjugate this verb. The only one that you're going to conjugate to determine if the action is future, present, or past is the first one. This verb, you're not going to change it with this verb, with make. So base form of the verb without conjugation. His parents made him clean his room. It's very similar to the first example. The coach made the team practice extra hours. So make is used
¿Algo
to
más?
show that someone causes someone else to take an action. If you say, she makes him laugh, who is laughing? She makes him laugh. Who is laughing? Ha 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 ha.
Him.
Him, the man, right? But what causes that the happy moment? What causes the smile? What or who causes it? The action. It's because she must be doing something to make him laugh. Maybe she's telling a joke. Maybe she's doing a funny face, but she's the cause. That's why you call these causative verbs. She's the reason that he is laughing. She makes him laugh. She is subject, object, him, base form of the verb laugh. So, to force or compel. The teacher made the students submit their assignments on time. I wish I could do this. The teacher made the students submit their assignments on time. Who is the subject?
The teacher.
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 And who is submitting the assignments?
The student.
The students.
The students.
Students.
Who caused that the students submit the assignments?
The teacher.
The teacher. The
Teacher.
teacher
The
has
teacher.
the authority, and the teacher made the students submit their assignments on time. The movie made me cry. Who is the object?
Me.
Who is crying?
Me.
And what causes the crying?
The move.
The movie. The movie caused that, compelled me to cry. You can also use make as a causative verb to create a situation. He made her feel special. He made her feel special. So the man here took some actions and the woman felt very good about it. Negative form, the negative form for the causative verbs or the question form is the same rules with the other verb tenses. For example, for the simple past, I use didn't. They didn't make him leave the party. They didn't make him leave the party. Who is the object?
They.
Object.
Him.
Him. There's a man in a party,
Party.
and they, another group of people, they weren't the cause for him to leave the party because they didn't make him leave the party. It's a negative statement. So it means that they are not the cause for him leaving the party. Maybe he's still in the party. We don't know. But they didn't make him leave the party. You can also make questions. You can change the order. Remember, you put the auxiliary verb at the beginning, and you can ask, did she make him cry? Did she make him cry? Who is the object?
Him.
Him. So I'm probably seeing a man over there crying, and I'm asking, did she make him cry? So what I'm implying, Who is the cause for him to be in that state?
She.
It could be affirmative or negative. Yes, she did, or not, she didn't. We don't know. But I'm asking, who is the cause? Who is the cause for him to be crying? So you can have affirmative statements with causative verbs. You can have negative statements with causative verbs, and you can make questions with causative verbs. Common mistakes. Incorrect. She makes him to laugh. She makes him laugh. This particular preposition here, part of speech, the particle to, is only used with the verb get. To use it here with make is incorrect. Make doesn't need this particle. It's not part of the structure. She makes him to laugh is a mistake. She makes him laugh. She makes him laugh. Now, there's another verb, let and have, that are causative verbs. But while make and let and have all serve causative function, they differ in meaning. When I'm using let, implies permission. She let him go. When I'm using have, implies responsibility. I had him clean the room. And make, in this case, implies force or compulsion. He made her cry. So this is our first causative verb, make. Again, the structure is subject plus make. Remember, it could be will make, makes, made, then the object, and the base form of the verb. So the verb tense would be here in the verb make. Will make, makes, had made, excuse me, had made. This is the review. Now, the second verb that we're going to discuss is have. Have as a causative verb. The verb have is commonly used to indicate that you're arranged for someone to do something. The structure is subject, have, object, past participle. One is one of the options. And the second option is have, object, base form of the verb. Okay? So let's discuss the first one with examples. I had my car repaired. In this sentence, you arrange for someone else to repair your car. She has her hair styled. Who is the subject?
She.
And who is the object?
Her hair.
Her hair.
Her hair. So she's not going to comb her hair by herself. She's going to get someone that is a professional. So she has her hair styled. The present simple here implies that is some sort of routine. It's something that she always does. If I want to say that is only on one occasion, that it happened once, I would use had. She had her hairstyle. So she has her hair style. In this sentence, the subject is causing an action to be done to the object. She is arranging for someone to comb or to brush her hair. I had my hair cut yesterday. I had my hair cut yesterday. It's the same situation, but from third person to first person, and this is past tense. She had the documents printed for the meeting. What's the object?
The documents.
What happened to the documents?
Print.
Were printed for the
They
meeting.
were printed. And who caused that the documents were printed for the meeting?
She.
Sí.
She's the reason. She gave the order. She had the capacity to do it. She paid for the documents. We don't know, but she's the reason that we have documents in the meeting. They had their house painted last summer. What's the object? What's the object?
House.
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 Their house
What happened to the house?
was
Was
painted.
painted.
It was painted. And
Was
who arranged for the house to be painted?
They.
They.
They. So here I have a couple of more complex sentences with more context. He had the technician install the new software on all the computers before the meeting started. He had the technicians install the new software on all the computers before the meeting started. So he, a man, arranged for the technician to install software. She'll have her assistant book the flights as soon as the dates are confirmed. She'll have her assistant book the flights. What is the verb tense of this sentence? Present, past, or future?
Future.
It's the
Future.
future, simple
Future.
future. I'm using will have.
totally
Well,
future.
what I'm trying to say here is that you can use have in any conjugation. Have, had, will have, has. So you have to pay
Will
attention to this first part to make a good sentence. Because this second verb, book or install, you're not going to conjugate these verbs and you're not going to use the particle to if I'm using have. The director had the actors rehearse their lines until late at night to perfect the scene. The director arranged for the actors to rehearse their lines. So what uses does have? Making arrangements, receiving services, and experiencing an action. Making arrangements. We often use have to indicate that we have arranged for someone else to do something. They had their house painted last summer. It means that they paid someone to do the job, right? Receiving services. Have is frequently used when we receive a service from someone else. He's having his teeth, excuse me, he's having his teeth cleaned at the dentist. It's happening right now. He had an appointment and now he's in the doctor's office and he's having his teeth cleaned at the dentist. What is the object?
Teeth.
His
Who is
teeth.
cleaning
His
the
teeth.
object?
Dentist.
The dentist is cleaning
The
the
dentist.
teeth. And who is paying?
She.
Who is receiving the service?
She.
He, a man. You can also use have for when you're experiencing an action. We use have when we want to express that we experience an action ourselves, but didn't perform it. She had a great time at the party. She had a great time at the party. So what is the experience? A good time dancing, drinking, talking to other people, but I didn't organize the party. She didn't organize the party, but she had a great time at the party. Once again, you can form negative statements or questions just by adding the proper auxiliary verbs. In this case, in this example, I'm using did because it's a question in the simple past. Did you have your documents checked? For example, you go to the airport or to an embassy and you need to present your documents. Someone can ask you, did you have your documents checked? Yes, I did. No, I didn't. Or in a negative statement, I didn't have my phone fixed last week. I didn't have my phone fixed last week. Do you need more examples with have? Thumbs ups if you need more examples. No one is reacting, so you don't need more examples with have. So let's change to the next verb, that is get. Get is also a very complex verb because you can have lots of combinations to create phrasal verbs. But here, we're using it as a causative verb. What is the difference with make and have? Is we use get to persuade someone, to convince someone to do something for us. So you use get to persuade or convince another person to do something. And this structure is the only one with the particle to. Get to, get object to. They got him to join the team. If you don't have the particle to, it would be a mistake. People will understand you, but it would be a grammar mistake. People got him to join the team. If you say they got him join the team, it will sound weird because they use to indicate that this one is a causative verb and not a phrasal verb. So they got him to join the team means that they persuaded him to become part of the team. You can use get with the base form of the verb or with the past participle. If you're going to use the past participle, you don't need the particle to. This particle to is only present when you have the base form of the verb. He got his car repaired last week. He got his car repaired last week. I can say he had his car repaired last week. And I can say he got his car repaired last week. Both are valid. But the difference is that the first one with have is more formal. And if I'm using get, is informal. The difference is in the register. I got my friend to help me with my homework. I got my friend to help me with my homework. Second case, second structure, first structure with get. You can use past participle or you can use the base form. But what you can do is to say to repaired. That won't be a possibility. She got the report finished just in time. She got the report finished just in time. So when do we use the particle to? Only with the base form. We use get in informal situations and when we are trying to convince or persuade someone. Other uses for get is as follows. You can use get to obtain services related to reparations. He got his computer fixed. Or maybe a cleaning service. They are getting their house clean. Transportation, she got her bike service or fix or repair. So in each of these cases, when we are using get to obtain services, someone is doing the task, but the subject is responsible for arranging the service and possibly for paying for the service. But they are not going to perform the action themselves. So we can get someone to do something. This structure emphasizes that you persuade or convince someone to do an action. I got him to help me with my homework. I got him to help me with my homework. That means that I have homework. Maybe I don't understand the homework and my friend is very good at mathematics. So I'm going to convince him to help me. So in the end, he's going to do the homework for me. This implies that the task will be completed with the help of someone else. Someone to do something, or you can get something done. We need to get the report finished by Friday. We need to get the report finished by Friday. Who is going to finish the report? We don't know at the moment, but we need it finished by Friday. So I'm going to arrange that someone in my office completes those reports by Friday. We need to get the report finished by Friday. You can also speculate using get, but that's another use. It's not causative, but it's just for speculation. I'm going to just give you samples of causative verbs. We already discussed have, make, and this is get. Here are the variations. The negative form. What can I do for a negative form? We can add an auxiliary verb. I didn't get my laptop repaired. I didn't get my laptop repaired. So I couldn't convince or persuade someone to fix it. And I can make questions with it. Did, as an auxiliary verb, did you get your passport renewed? Did you get your passport renewed? Yes, I did. No, I didn't. These are examples in the simple past, but remember, you can use get in the future, in the present, or in the past. Always to try to convince someone. The chat is inactive. Okay, who can form a sentence and say it out loud with this structure? You, your friend, to lend you a book. Who can create a sentence using get? There are many options because you can use any verb tense. So create a sentence with you, subject, object, your friend, and the action would be to lend you a book. Should I call a name?
You get your friend to lend you a book.
You get your friend to lend you a book.
Yeah.
No. Because if you're going to use the simple present, that means that it's a routine or a repetitive action. You will have to change it to you get your friend to lend you books. Otherwise,
Teacher,
it
you
will
got
be the same book every time.
Got it. So
One time, you got your friend to lend you a book. That would be a better option. What about number 2?
she got the plumber to fix the sink.
She got the plumber to fix the sink. That's correct. Simple past. Can I make it? Can I make a sentence in the future? Number 2, but in the future.
We'll have the photographer to take our family picture.
Okay, but I'm asking number 2, but number 3. She will get the photographer to take our family picture. That's possible in the future. I'm going to convince a photographer. I'm going to persuade a photographer to get a picture of our family. So don't get fixed in the examples that I use simple past. You can use any verb tense. Okay? You can use the present in some occasions, the future, perfects. You can use negative statements. You can use questions. So you need to exercise a little bit more. But what you need is a subject, an object, and the action. And then you choose your causative verb depending on the intention. Have for an arrangement, make to force or compel, and get to persuade someone. Let's see some exercises here. There's a note here, difference between make and get. Make and get. So make, remember, is to force someone. But in this case, remember that make is also the verb to create or produce elements. So he makes furniture as a hobby. Is that a causative verb? I made a cake for her birthday. Is that a causative verb? No, it's not. It's the regular meaning, made to create. Causative verb is when you make someone to do something for you. The news made her happy. Is that a causative verb?
no.
Yes.
I have a subject and I have an object. They made him angry with their comments. It's not using these are like more in the intention than in the structure that I showed you before, because we don't have the other verb. But the intention is to cause a change. And get, remember, other uses for get is to obtain or receive. I need to get a new phone, but I don't have other verb here. They got a letter from their friend. So you just keep in mind that make, have, and get can be used as causative verbs, but they have other functions. Where are my exercises? Okay. Oh, no. Can I share a link with you? You have the chat deactivated. I want to share a link. Let's see. Um, I'm going to have to type it. Give me a moment. Since the chat is deactivated, I'm going to use a poll. And I'm going to give you these 4 options. Can you see the question? Which of the following verbs is not commonly used in causative structures in English? I have 67 people connected, so I hope at least 30 answers. There are people connecting at this time, but we're about to finish. The grammar lectures begin at 5, so be punctual. I'm already doing some exercises to check your comprehension, so please answer the poll. Then check the results. 25 responses so far. Okay. Let me reach 30 at the least. There's a poll in the chat window, or maybe on your screen. 97% of the people that have answered is correct. The verb that is not a causative verb is do. There's a 3% that answer make, but that's a mistake. Now I'm going to share another question with you. I'm going to create a new poll as part of the exercise. The first question is still open. You can participate, and it will take your attendance to this exercise. So the question says, what is the primary function of causative structures in English grammar? I'm going to give you your options in a moment. What is the primary function of causative structures in English grammar? Is people getting disconnected and re-entering? Because we're about to end. If you're just connecting now, we're about to end.
Hello.
Now, have you answered the poll? Let me see the results. Okay, so far we have 84% of you are correct. The answer is being correct in most of the cases, but some people, there's an 11% here that didn't understood the topic. Didn't understand past tense. Let's see. You can keep answering that one while I create a new one. Which of the following structures is using get correctly? So I'm going to give you a couple of sentences, analyze them, try to identify the subject, the object, the base form of the verb. Let me know which one of these options is the correct one. I'm sending the third poll right now. The options are: they get their house clean, he get his friend to study, she gets her car repaired, I get my sister to help with her project. We need more participations. There's 74 people connected, and I'm only getting 20 answers. That means that some of you just log into the session and you leave the cell phone far away, and you don't get to know that I'm asking questions. Okay, 30 responses. From 30 responses, 75% is correct, and the 25% is incorrect. The third option is the right one. She gets her car repaired. I'm using the past participle, so I don't need to. The subject is she, the object is her, and the structure has gets in simple present because I can use simple present. She's someone that needs repairing in her car constantly. Maybe she's a bad driver. Maybe there's a problem with the engine. She gets her car repaired continuously. Let's continue with another question to see if you got the differences among the structures. So the question is, in a moment, the question is, in the context of causative verbs, What does the structure subject plus make plus object plus base form of the verb imply? Here are the options. Option 1, option 2. Are you seeing the options? I don't think so. Let me click here. I don't know what happened with the question. In the context of causative verbs, what does the structure subject plus make plus object plus base form of the verb imply? I'm trying to edit the poll, but it's going live. Just pay attention to the last part of the question. I read the question again. In the context of causative verbs, what does the structure subject plus make plus object plus base form of the verb imply? Very good. 30% is incorrect, but 70% of you are correct. The subject forces the object to do something. Remember, have for an arrangement, make to force or compel someone, and get is to persuade or to convince someone else to do something for you. Okay, questions? Raise your hand if you have a questions. I'm going to try to answer them because we are over the time here. Raise your hand. Lina Matilde, do you have a question?
Yes, teacher, good afternoon.
Hey there, everyone. I'm Iju.
And what's your question?
Do you tell Oh,
Lina, I'm not listening to you, but your mic.
do you tell me?
Yeah, you have your hand raised.
Okay, I'm sorry, teacher. But it's not seeing the screen, and I don't know. It is a problem with my connection, maybe, or no, the screen, your screen.
I wasn't sharing the screen. You need to check on the chat window.
Okay, okay. I
On the chat
understand.
window, there are different questions. There's a poll, but I'm going to close them. We have finished. Do you have questions about this topic?
Okay, no, teacher, no question this topic.
Teacher,
I'm sorry.
teacher,
Raise your
teacher,
hand.
can you
I
send
give
us?
you.
Can you send the? Can you
Okay,
send
thank you.
us the material that you use to explain the class? That material. I would like to
Yes, I
practice.
can share it to you as soon as the reunion closes. I'm going to share it in the group. But you,
Okay, teacher.
because the chat is closed. I don't know why. Yeah, but yeah, you can Google search it. Mini course causative verbs. I'm a lousy typist. No, it's not here. Well, I'll try to share it with you, but I don't see how. Because
Thank you, teacher.
I can't write here either. Yeah, when I share the recording, or I will share it with you, the material. Okay, that's it for today. Remember, this is part of the Grammar Lectures Encounters, part of the Lilay online community. And there will be encounters in the mornings and in the afternoon. If you go to your campus, probably in your courses, you go to the news forum. Initial information, general forum. In the news forum, you will find information about the Lilay online language community sessions. So you can join other activities. I hope that the people that is in English 6 have taken notes and screenshots. So I'll see you in some other occasion. Have a good night. Bye.
Bye, teacher.
Bye.
Thank
Bye,
you.
Bye,
teacher.
Bye,
teacher.
Thank
Take
you,
teacher.
care.
teacher.
See you.
Bye, teacher.
Bye bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye,
Bye,
teacher.
bye.
Have a good one. I'm going to close the recording. I forgot to stop the recording.